Okay, so today we're going to be locating the epicenter of an earthquake practice. And to do that, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need the locating the epicenter of an earthquake practice sheet. You're going to need the Lesson Master 3.4 time distance graph. You are also going to need a note card, a compass, and you're going to need a pen or a pencil. And now to start, get your practice sheet out, and on it you are going to see there are 3 seismic stations on it: Sitka, Charlotte, and San Jose. And first you're going to see right here, this is the P wave and this is the S wave. And if you want, you can label that P wave, S wave. And now you're going to see that the P wave, it arrived at 11. You're going to see in Sitka, Alaska, it says the P wave arrived at 11:09 and that the S wave arrived at 11:14 with 30 seconds. Now you're going to go down to the bottom here and you're going to write that down. So the seismic station is Sitka, Alaska. And if you want, you can just abbreviate it. It makes it a lot easier. And then you're going to put the arrival time of the P wave and the arrival time of the S wave. So the P wave arrived at 11:09 with 0 seconds. But the S wave arrived at 11:14 with 30 seconds. And so next we need to write the lag time. And to find the lag time, you're going to need to subtract the P wave arrival time and the arrival time of the S wave. And so if you subtract those, you will figure it out that it is 5 minutes. But there's also that 30 seconds left, so it's going to be 5 minutes 30. So you can just write 5:30 and we'll understand what you're trying to write. And we still have to find the epicenter, but we'll get to that later. So now we're going to write, I'm going to finish all of these other two and we'll be right back. Okay, and now that you see that I finished doing all of that, we're going to use the P wave and the S wave, their lag time, to find the epicenter of these 3 earthquakes. And so now we're going to go to our other sheet, the graph. And as you can see on this side, there is the tick marks for time in minutes. And then on this side, there's the epicenter distance in kilometers. And that's what we're trying to find. And then there is 2 lines right here. That one represents the P wave and this one represents the S wave. And we're going to use those to help us find the epicenter. So we're going to get our note card and we're going to line it up the best that we can to the 00 mark. And so now that we've done that, we're going to put a dot at 00 and then whatever the minutes are. And so in this case, we are going to go back to our sheet and we're going to see that it says Sitka, Alaska, and the lag time is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And so we're going to go to the 5 tick and we're going to go right in between the 5 and the 6 for 5:30. And so that's what we're going to do for all of them. But this is just the one that we're doing right now. And so we're going to keep the dot on the P wave line, the 00 dot. And we're just going to keep going up. So we're going to make it until the top dot touches the S wave line. And we're going to try to keep it as level as possible. And we're just going to keep going and going until it touches. And now you can see mine has started to turn, so I need to straighten it out a little bit more. But now that it's reached it, we can look and see that if you follow that line down, it's at the 4,000 kilometer mark. So now we know that the distance to the epicenter for the Sitka, Alaska earthquake is 4,000. So we're going to write that down in that space right here. And now we're going to need to find the one for Charlotte, Arkansas, and San Jose, Costa Rica. And now you can do those on your own, or you can do those with me. If it makes it easier for you, use a different color to help you with your dots. Because yes, sometimes it can get confusing and you can be mixed up on the dots. So right now I'm just going to do the Charlotte, North Carolina one, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, level it out. Make sure it's all level, and that one is 1,500. And then we're going to, instead of doing the San Jose one, we can see that the lag time for San Jose and Sitka are the exact same. So we're just going to know that the distance to the epicenter is going to be the exact same. So we don't have to do the whole moving all the way up thing. It doesn't make any sense to just redo it. So as you know, it'll just be the same right here. So we can just write the same answer, 4,000 kilometers. And now that we have those 3 marks, we're going to go to the back of this sheet. And as you can see, there is a map with all 3 of the cities pinpoint onto it. And so now that we see those and we have the marks of the epicenter, or the distance to the epicenter, we're going to use our compass to help us find those. So at the bottom here, there's the kilometer, key signature sort of thing. And we're going to use that to help us. So we're going to grab our compass, and we're going to make sure that it is the right direction. Now, if you're moving it, you want to make sure you press down. If you're not pressing down and you hear this noise, you're going to break it. So make sure you press down to do it. So now you're going to apply your corner of your protractor. As you can see on the edge, there's a protractor. You're going to make sure it's all lined up on the centimeter side of your compass. And now as you can see here, it says the distance to the epicenter is 4,000 and for Sitka. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look at all these tick marks and we're going to look at the 4,000. Now we're going to line up one of the triangles or the points of your compass to the 4,000. So you can do the first point or the second point. It's up to you. So I just happened to use the first point. So now you're going to put the middle of the dot in the middle of your protractor dot. And you're going to use the dot that you put aligned to the epicenter distance. And you're going to use it to make a circle here. And if it's not all the way complete, you can just fill it in and trace it just like that. And now you have your circle. And now you have to do that to the rest. But make sure that you're using the right one. Because if I put my first line at the 4,000 mark and I use my second one, it's definitely not going to be 4,000. So make sure that you are doing that correctly and you know which one is yours. And now I'm going to do the Charlotte one really quickly right here. And we're going to just complete that circle. And now we're going to do the San Jose one. And the San Jose, since it is the same as Sitka, it should be sort of the same size. And if it's not, it's all right because nobody's circles are perfect. And if your circles don't exactly meet up together, it's all right as well. Because you know kind of exactly sort of where it's going to be. And as you can see, my circle was flattened out right there. And now you have all 3 of your circles. And they should both be the same. So you're going to find the middle of the circles. So you're going to try and find, or at least as close as you can get to all 3 circles touching. And it's okay if they don't, because your circles aren't all going to be the same. So mine is right about where the Great Lakes are. So if you need to, you can darken the lines to see. And this is where my epicenter is. So that is the correct way to find your epicenter. And so if you have different cities, different lag times, it's still going to be the same process. It's just this is the way you do it.